Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Heston Cobb. First, I'll look at the background of this case, including the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Heston Cobb was born sometime around 2004 and lived in Arizona. Using the name Heston James, he posted prank videos on a few social media platforms and became a massive influencer. At the time I'm making this video, Heston has 75,000 subscribers on YouTube, 1.2 million followers on Instagram, and 1.6 million followers on TikTok. Starting in January 2025, Heston and his associates conducted several pranks in the Tempe, Arizona area. These pranks were video recorded and posted to Heston's social media accounts. They have received millions of views. As I mentioned, Heston is very successful. Generally, Heston's pranks involve him disrupting businesses and the customers who are patronizing those businesses. One popular prank that he perpetrated involved screaming inside of a store. Here is essentially how this prank works. Heston and his associates enter a retail store, like a PetSmart, a Target, or an Ace Hardware. They pose as customers and sometimes behave in a way where it is not clear that they are together. When Heston and his camera operator are alone in an aisle, Heston screams something in a dramatic fashion. For instance, he screams for help. Heston often impersonates a girl and is usually quite convincing. Screaming like a girl may be his only true talent. When employees or customers in the store investigate, Heston acts like he didn't do it. He is taken by surprise, just like they are, and he is equally concerned about the scream. Is somebody in trouble? Is a person being attacked in the store? Heston looks around as if he is trying to find the source of the scream. As the employees or customers start searching the store, Heston joins them as if he is trying to be helpful. In many cases, Heston is the prime suspect. People often figure out that it must have been him who screamed. As he is being interrogated, accused, or ordered to leave the store, one of his associates screams from another place in the store. Heston refers to this person as a backup screamer. The second scream is confusing to the employees because clearly it didn't come from Heston, who is standing right next to them. They wonder if they are accusing the wrong person. Maybe Heston is innocent after all. As the prank continues with additional screams, the employees figure out the scheme and become angry. When Heston and his associates are ordered to leave, they continue to play innocent. Here are a few examples of Heston playing this prank. The dates I'm using here are when he posted the videos. I don't know when he actually perpetrated the pranks, although I imagine he didn't wait too long before posting. On January 24, 2025, Heston posted a video of him in a Ski Pro store. He screamed and then walked around with an employee to find the source of the scream. On February 23, we see a video from an Ace Hardware store. Heston can be seen reacting to the backup screamer and looking confused as he helps the employees find the source of the scream. On April 22, the same prank is perpetrated in a PetSmart. Here, Heston walks into what appears to be an employee-only area, pretending to help find the source of the scream. He initially earned the trust of an employee, and she even offered him 10% off. On March 1, a CVS store can be seen falling victim to the screaming prank. After a confusing series of screams, Heston and his associates are ordered to leave. In a video posted on March 3, 2025, Heston aggravates an employee at what appears to be an appliance store. The employee does not appear to be amused. PetSmart was once again targeted in a video released on March 6. Employees figured out what Heston was doing and kicked him out. During a prank featured in a March 27 video at an Ace Hardware, Heston is initially rightfully accused of screaming by employees, but the employees then apologize to him after hearing a backup screamer. In a video posted on March 30, Heston and his associates terrorize people in another hardware store. This one's called Artie's. On May 6, a video was posted featuring the screaming prank at a Petco store. A backup screamer can be seen causing confusion by hiding in merchandise. And on May 20, 2025, Heston released a video where he played the screaming prank in a Family Dollar store. He and his associates were kicked out by an employee who had enough of their antics. The screaming in the store prank was clearly one of Heston's favorites, but he and his associates also used a different prank on a few occasions. This one is much more brazen and disruptive. Here is essentially how this prank works. Heston would enter a business pretending to be some type of high-ranking employee, like a district manager. He would tell employees that they were doing a terrible job, and he was there to clean things up. At this point, he would get on a phone and order his crew to enter. A number of his associates, who were just like employees, would rush in and engage in disruptive behavior, like they would start cleaning or getting behind registers. Here are a few examples of the employee takeover prank. On March 9, 2025, Heston posted a video where his employees rushed into a Target store and disrupted the checkout area. A Target store was featured in another video on March 17. On March 19, a Chipotle restaurant was featured in a video. Heston's crew cleaned the restaurant in a chaotic fashion. Another Chipotle can be seen in a video posted on March 25. A worker called the police saying, "We have people trying to invade our store right now posing as employees. They are not leaving, and they're literally touching everything." On July 4, 2025, Heston posted a video where he was at a big brand tire shop pretending to be from corporate. After accusing the employees of being slow, he had his crew, who were dressed as mechanics, pull up to the shop in a van and jump out. They rushed into the shop, which contained vehicles owned by customers. Heston ordered them to engage in various mechanical tasks, saying things like, "Take that tire off and check the oil." Some of the associates even climbed under the vehicles. Due to the alleged illegal behavior that Heston engaged in over the course of a few months, the police conducted an investigation. Considering how Heston's pranks were video recorded and posted on his social media accounts, I imagine the investigation was pretty easy. On July 23, 2025, Heston Cobb was arrested and charged with 1 count of third-degree burglary, 2 counts of criminal impersonation, 5 counts of disorderly conduct, and 5 counts of criminal trespass. The police did not specify exactly which pranks led to which charges. For example, they never said which prank led to the burglary charge. Presumably, several of his pranks were deemed to involve criminal behavior, considering that he is facing 13 charges. Law enforcement indicated that Heston perpetrated his alleged crimes from March 2025 through July 2025. It's not clear why they didn't count the pranks that were featured in videos posted in January and February as criminal behavior. Maybe they believed they didn't rise to the level of a crime. At the time I'm making this video, Heston Cobb is working his way through the criminal justice system, and the police indicated that other people may be facing charges as well. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. In my opinion, there isn't much doubt that Heston Cobb is guilty of at least some of these charges. For example, he video recorded himself engaging in disorderly conduct and trespassing. This is going to be pretty tough to defend. My guess is that this case will end up being resolved with a plea bargain for misdemeanor charges, but who knows what will happen. Maybe Heston will decide that he wants to get his day in court. Perhaps he can try out his screaming prank during his trial and see how the judge reacts. At least if Heston pulls that prank, the ending would be genuinely hilarious. Item number 2. A lot of social media pranksters have been pushing the limits in order to obtain fame and riches. The prankster influencers participate in a very competitive market. It requires absolutely no talent or education to be a prankster. One only needs to be annoying and shameless. Many influencers find themselves overqualified in this respect. Perhaps the high level of competition is what led Heston to engage in reckless behavior, like the screaming in the store and work crew takeover pranks. This brings me to item number 3. The types of pranks Heston perpetrated are problematic for a variety of reasons. The screaming prank causes false alarm and disrupts business operations. Employees waste time trying to track down the source of the noise, as Heston pretends to be a concerned citizen. The work crew takeover prank shuts down all productivity. Everything in the business stops while Heston and his associates impose chaos. They are essentially using someone else's store or restaurant for their own profit, demonstrating a phenomenal sense of entitlement. They believe it's fine just to walk in, impersonate employees, and aggravate customers. This type of prank is particularly brazen. The pranksters are running the risk of being met with force. A group of people storming into a business could be interpreted as aggressive and violent. It's only a matter of time before somebody gets hurt in one of these takeover pranks. Now moving to my last item, number 4. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Heston Cobb is self-centered, impulsive, irresponsible, immature, cold, callous, grandiose, attention-seeking, sadistic, remorseless, brazen, shameless, falsely believes he is special, has a sense of entitlement, and is exceedingly creepy. Lacking any talent consistent with achieving success on social media, he resorted to constructing illegal pranks to find notoriety. He was literally and figuratively screaming for attention, desperate to be recognized. Amazingly, Heston was able to attract conspirators to help him perpetrate these pranks, people who believed that screaming in a PetSmart aisle was the pinnacle of human achievement. Heston's behavior led to his arrest and will probably result in a criminal record. This will make it difficult for him to find employment and restrict his career potential. Not that he had a lot in this department to start with. Heston traded what may have been a tolerable financial future for views on social media. He mistook chaos for charisma, viral for valuable, disruption for influence, and impersonation for importance. After the criminal matter is settled, he will fade back into obscurity as just another prankster who overestimated his own appeal. Those are my thoughts in the case of Heston Cobb. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. 1.2 million followers on Instagram and 1.6 million followers on TikTok. 1.2 million followers on Instagram and 1.6 million followers on TikTok. 1.2 million followers on Instagram and 1.6 million followers on TikTok.